Well, good evening, my darling true crime angels. Welcome to Websleuths YouTube Live. Trisha Griffith here, and of course, Othram Tech's Bug Nugget the First, Othy for short, with his new little lamb that he's trying to destroy. And back here is the old man, Scrappy Joe. He's sound asleep. He had a busy day barking at people to stay off his lawn. And cats are around here somewhere. My son is at his house with some friends. He's doing great. Life is good. I hope you're having a wonderful night, and I am honored that you're with me tonight. Stacy had to take her hubby in for a checkup today, and it was a long day. I told her to take the night off, and we will hear from her tomorrow. She'll get an update. Everything's good. All good news. We're going to knock on wood and just keep those good thoughts for them going, okay? Okay, we have a lot to talk about tonight. So much is going on. I was surprised that nobody was talking about this case in Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio. They found 2 suitcases buried in a shallow grave with 2 young girls. Yeah, found out they're half sisters, and their mother has been arrested. And guess what? She has been having problems. She was on the radar of the officials, but apparently she kept moving around. So, she was avoiding detection. When I was looking into this tonight, and thank you, Love and Coco, for sending this to me, because I didn't hear a word about it. We do have a discussion going on Websleuths, but on websleuths.com, we literally have hundreds of thousands of discussions. So I've memorized about 98,000 of them, but after 98,000, it kind of leaves my brain. Anyway, I started looking into this, and I thought, I can write this script again. We can write this script. The abuse, the problems, and then this horror that happened. We're going to show you that about 6 years ago, mom and these same daughters appeared in a newspaper article where they were getting help. They had sought help with some food and things like that. And it's a great upbeat article, and they look so cute and happy. And I don't know what happened, but we're going to get to that right now. And we'll get to you in chat here and say hi to everybody in just a little bit. But right now, what we're going to do is I want to show you a picture of these little girls. This is on websleuths.com. They are so beautiful. And I guess this has been very traumatizing for the, oh God, am I freezing again? Sorry, guys. Trying to get the freezing situation handled, but here they are. I mean, oh my God, those faces, just so happy, had no idea what was in store for them. But I guess this has been very traumatizing for the police department and the people that found these little girls. It has just been horrific. So let's go to YouTube now. Not YouTube, actually, sorry, to a channel in Cincinnati, Ohio, where I'm sure I'll freeze again. But the good news is you can still hear me. It doesn't freezing my picture doesn't shut me up. So just listen if I start freezing. Okay, so we're going to go right now to, this is 19 News, all right? And we're going to play a video here where they talk about this case and what happened. And again, it's just absolutely shocking and appalling. And we need to talk about it. We need to have these cases brought right up to our attention. Here we go.
Anger from the man who says one of those little girls was his.
Can you imagine? Our Harry Boomer was there for the emotional moment when he came.
Oh, this is about the father.
I'm standing here near both of the shallow graves. When I was out here a couple of hours ago, there were very few stuffed animals, but as you can see here and at the other one about 25 feet away, lots of stuffed animals. And yes, Deshaun Chapman was overcome with grief and anger as he comes to terms with the terrible truth. His precious little girl is dead. Her body found right over here in those shallow graves that I mentioned to you.
I'm sorry, it is Cleveland. My apologies.
Slowly
Cleveland.
In the rain toward the shallow grave where he says his daughter was buried.
I've been looking for my daughter for 5 years. I've been calling CPS, going to the courts, trying to get emergency custody, calling the police for welfare checks. But They denied all access.
The 8.5-year-old's body was partially buried in a suitcase at the edge of a field behind Gann Academy in South Collinwood. Chapman says he's working with police right now to prove he was the father of one of the little girls.
I'm still in contact with the detectives. We're doing the DNA samples, so I get more details within the next couple days.
Chapman says the girl's mother has been avoiding him by moving around a lot. He says the last time he was able to see his daughter was when he helped buy her clothes for kindergarten. Tell me what you're thinking, what you're feeling, believing that your daughter has been murdered.
What I'm feeling is hate. I ain't gonna lie, I feel hate. But I asked you numerous occasions, just give me my daughter. If it's too much for you, just give me my daughter. I just want my daughter.
Seeing where her body was buried, overwhelming. He had to be comforted by a friend.
I don't get how you can hate your own kids enough to kill them, to bury them, to do all this, and go right there to that home, right there, and live there where your kids is dead right here, and go be a mother to another child. Why you just killed your other two?
Now Deshaun Chapman wants changes to the system he says has denied him a chance to be a father.
Change these laws, make it better. Men do have a say-so in their child's life, married, unmarried.
Now, I have reached out to Child and Family Protective Services and CPD to find out if they were involved in any way with Mr. Chapman, if he's undertaken any DNA tests. But right now, I can tell you from watching him, his body language and his verbal language, he is a grieving father. I'm Harry Boomer, East 162nd, 19 News.
Alert.
Breaking news right off the top. We now know the names of those sisters who died such horrific deaths.
They are 8-year-old Mila Chapman and 10-year-old Amor Wilson. That is Mila laying down on the bed, and that is Amor sitting up next to her. Two beautiful, innocent girls. Their lives stolen from them. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Duffy.
I'm Tiffany Tucker. Thanks for joining us. Also breaking at 6 o'clock, the suspect now charged with 2 counts of aggravated murder.
Now at 6, Brittany Weir takes us through what we know so far.
Yes, 28-year-old Aaliyah Henderson has been arrested in connection to this. She is currently here at the jail. Now, this all comes after the bodies of those 2 young girls were found stuffed inside suitcases and then buried in shallow graves on Cleveland's east side near Gann Academy. And like you said, now we are taking a closer look at how investigators were able to track her down just 2 days later. This tragic case started with a dog walk Monday evening. A man and his dog were near East 162nd and Midland Avenue when the dog caught a scent in the field near Gann Academy.
And for the last week, she's been stuck. It was like a mound of dirt. She's been stopped and sniffing like a little too long.
When officers arrived, they found a suitcase buried in a shallow grave. Inside, the body of a young child. A second suitcase with another body was found nearby. Cleveland police confirmed the 2 children were half-sisters, one between the ages of 8 and 13 years old, the second between 10 and 14. Wednesday night, officers served a search warrant at a home on East 162nd Street, just steps away from where those bodies were found.
So part of the investigation led us to this home, and it's been a nonstop, ongoing investigation. Our homicide unit, it's often not said, but they have been working around the clock in this investigation.
Neighbors told 19 News that Henderson lives at that home. She was booked into Cuyahoga County Jail for murder and child endangering.
What they've committed to this investigation, and they're working really hard to bring justice to these young girls.
And they did share with us that when they arrested Henderson, they did find another child in that home. That child is now under the care of Family and Children Services. They're asking anyone with information about this case to please give them a call. In Cleveland, Brittany Weir, 19 News.
There you go. And you heard the dad of one of the girls say that she moved around a lot, you know. Again, we can write this script, people. I'm sure Child Protective Services have been involved. And there was another child at her home that she was raising. Now, they haven't said whether that was her child or not. My guess is probably was. Now, why these two children were chosen to be murdered, I don't know. But I'm going to read you an article from 2019. In fact, I'm going to share this with you right now so you can see this picture. And then I'll read it to you. It's a nice article about how they were looking for help, and they got it here. I'll make sure you can see this. Okay, hang on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, hang on. Let me grab it here and do this. I have no idea if I'm freezing. I'm just jabbering away. Rainbow Connects extends University Hospital's commitment to meeting patient needs outside the doctor's office. Now, this was in 2019, May 10th, okay? And those are the two little girls and their mother and their grandmother there, all right? And now this page is frozen and I can't scroll down. But basically, what they're doing, see how the mom, she's right there smiling. You can see, God. Anyway, now it just finally jumped on here. Aliyah Henderson brought her daughters to University Hospital Rainbow Center in Women and Children's for a checkup in March and left the clinic with two big non-medical worries off of her mind: how to afford the furniture she'd need after an upcoming move and how to pay for the diapers she never seems to have enough of. That's because in addition to the routine heart, lung, and temperature checks of the well child visit, Henderson also received a visit from a student volunteer with the health center's Rainbow Connection team. This program works to identify and help and meet families' basic social needs, things like food, clothing, and diapers. Really, Afi? Can you stop with the killing of the lamb for just a minute? Thank you. Anyway, it was a great program back in 2019. I hope it's still going on. Anybody. You know, she had her mother there. She had the help of the university and this program. I don't know what happened. Was it a mental, I think it was actually probably mental illness of some sort. But again, fell through the cracks. Dad's trying to get custody saying, hey, you know, I'm stable here. I can take my daughter. These two little girls were half sisters. They have not said anything about the other father. Again, it is a story that we can all write the script to, and it's just so unfair and wrong. And hopefully we'll be able to follow this. I really wish there would be a way, like in a case like this, just one case, where they could open up the books and follow what happened and let us know. Because maybe there's a way we can help. I don't know. I'm just trying to throw whatever I can at the wall to see what sticks, see what we can do to help, see what we can do to stop this. You know, we've had Jim Rathman on many times talking about cases like this and how frustrating it is that these kids, they are reported to Child Protective Services and then just fall through the cracks. So anyway, we'll keep you posted on all of that. But sorry to start out this live stream on such a bummer note, but it's reality. And because of all the other cases going on, cases like this just don't get reported on. So I hope I'll put the link in the description to the Websleuths discussion. I hope you go read the discussion because our members have done some really good digging in this case. One of our members, TLCY, she's been on this live stream before. She's the one that found this this newspaper article from 2019. Can you hear that? I think that went right by my house. They're probably looking for me. Oh, well. Anyway, so again, our members on websleuths.com did a great job at finding information out about this case and giving the attention this case deserves. Okay, so now, good news. Lauren Matthias is in Utah in Summit County, and she is reporting live from the Kouri Richins trial. I was so glad to see her on one of her live streams at noon, her noontime live stream, because I look so forward to Lauren when she reports on a case and just watching those noontime live streams because they're so informative, so good, and I don't have to sit there for hours and go through all the testimony. So Kouri Richins on trial for poisoning her husband and killing him, Eric, also attempted poisoning on Valentine's Day. Today in court, they had the man on that prepared the sandwich at the diner, Mirror Lake Diner, which I have eaten at, and it is delicious. It is so good. And he came on and described the meal that he prepared, and that was the meal that she tried to kill him with on Valentine's Day. And apparently she allegedly put fentanyl in a drink that a little bit later, and that's what finally killed Eric, according to the prosecution. So I'm going to play a little bit of Lauren's live stream today from her noontime, and this is a friend that is on the stand. She's talking about a friend on the stand. Her name is, let me grab it here. Her name is Becky Lloyd, and it was kind of a mini mic drop moment for the defense, because Becky Lloyd said, well, yeah, Kouri Richins told me that she wanted Eric gone. She wanted him dead. He'd be better off dead. And then the defense got up there and was able to show in another interview earlier where Lloyd said, yeah, I'm not sure if she said that or not. It's kind of interesting. But anyway, Lauren talks about it and breaks it down really good. And we're going to play that for you right now. I'm just so glad that she's there. I feel it's like a relief. It's like, oh, good. Lauren's there. I can get the right coverage and I can understand what's happening with this case. So I feel so much better. Okay, now I've got to find the flipping thing. And I'll freeze here because I'm going to get to a YouTube channel. So I'll freeze, but I'll keep talking. So don't worry. Let's see. Is that it? No, that's not it. There it is. Here we go. And I will put the link in chat to Lauren's live stream, noontime live stream. And of course, I'll put all these links in the description. So here we go. And here she is talking about Lloyd going on the stand and saying these things.
And I want to talk about this with all of you guys before the recap tonight. She said, well, she told me it would almost be easier if Eric was dead. And look, and Becky McDonald saying we need to watch back and see Kouri's face while listening to Becky Lloyd. We will do that. We will do that. I have a lot of questions. There are some things you just don't see as well in courtroom, guys. So we will be watching some things back. Thanks for that tip. But so, I wish, it would be easier if Eric was dead. Right when she said that, I had thoughts. I had thoughts about how, like, if I was a juror hearing that, I wouldn't necessarily think that was like the biggest bombshell, just being a jury. This is me being honest, because people say those things off the cuff. I wish someone was dead. It would be easier if they were dead. This is complicated. I know we're at a murder trial, so it matters here. It's definitely evidence and circumstantial evidence and a witness testimony. I get that. It's a murder trial. But I remember even thinking, like, did she say that? Did she not? Does it really matter? I think what I thought was most important about Becky Lloyd's testimony for me was the fact that Kouri was saying she felt trapped and wanted a divorce and thought that Eric was gonna, smear her name. And I mean, for me, that was enough for motive. I mean, she's painting motive, right? And what Kouri wanted, that was enough. So this moment, in other words, it didn't make her testimony more oomph for me. It just was like, okay, she said it would be easier if he was dead. But that was supposed to be, I think, a big mic drop moment. And maybe a lot of you thought it was, maybe, yeah, girl talk, it happens, right? And maybe you guys disagree with me. So I just want to share this. So I remember like kind of thinking that and feeling that. I'm like, that doesn't do that much. It's not a mic drop moment for me. And then defense gets up. And defense, during Becky Lloyd's testimony, they did a great job. They said, do you remember, not even being sure if this was said? The specific part about it would be easier if Eric was dead. And she had spoken to a private investigator, and she said, no, she's always known that it was said. She's certain of it. Then they played past interviews with Becky showing she did indeed say she wasn't confident that that one line was said. This mic drop moment was said. So, lessening this mic drop moment. And I remember thinking, and they had a good exchange. It was a good exchange, and Becky explained why she feels like it's true now and why it was overwhelming because it's her friend. And so here's something. I just want to say this. Let's talk it out. I remember thinking, you know what? I don't know if that was said either. I don't know if Kouri really said that. But again, for me, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't add more depth to her testimony. That is, Kouri was upset about her marriage and didn't want to be in her marriage and was worried about getting a divorce and what that looked like. And I remember thinking she could have just decided, she said that later. Grayson told me after that she felt that it was true and that she had probably trauma blocked it. That was Grayson's initial thoughts on the matter, just so you know, Hidden True Crimes producer Grayson. She said, no, I think she could be telling the truth here, and that's really what happened, and maybe she sort of trauma blocked it and processed it. And then I said, well, no, I think she could have been looking through another lens after the conversation, after Eric dies, and thinking, did she say that? Did she say that? I want to know what you guys think, though, because I'm processing that one a lot, what you guys thought of Becky Lloyd's testimony. Again, if I was a juror, I'd probably dismiss that whole line now. But it still doesn't, I just didn't know if it was necessary. And I guess that's maybe a point too. If I was the prosecution and she had once been uncertain about that line, I probably would have just been comfortable leaving it out. But I know they wanted it for effect. Did you guys think that line was really powerful when she testified that Kouri thought it would be better off if Eric, it would be easier if Eric was dead? I guess was it that important of a line? Because I think the defense just did a great job with that line. And I wonder if they should have even added it, in my opinion.
Well, there you go. Yeah, it was kind of hold on. Yeah, it was kind of wash, I thought, too, that, she was sure that she had said it. And then the defense was able to come up and show that, yeah, in this other interview, you weren't sure. So I can see how that could be a little bit of a wash, but you never know. You never know. Yes. And Kouri is very good at gaslighting. Just call me Kim. Yeah, I didn't mean to, Kelly J, to leave out Nate Eaton. I'm glad Nate Eaton is there too. Our Intermountain people, Nate Eaton and Lauren. But Lauren's a dear friend, and she does such a great job. So I was just thrilled I had no idea. I turned it on and there she was. I'm like, yay. So we'll be checking in with her every day now and seeing what's going on. And let me put the link up to Lauren's Noontime Live there in case you didn't watch her live stream tonight, because this is a great recap of everything that happened in the morning in the Kouri Richins case. You guys, that is just it's just nuts. Kouri was taking out loans and lying about money and had an affair. And then, according to, this was in an old 48 Hours, like a year ago, the reporter for the 48 Hours said that Kouri's mother said that Eric was having an affair. And, oh, well, that happens. Doesn't mean anybody killed anybody. However, I think it's going to come down to the testimony of the housekeeper that got the drugs. I really think that's going to hinge on that. So far, there could be all kinds of things. The prosecution's case isn't over, and we certainly haven't seen the defense's case. Now, I came across a guy today that I want to play that made me laugh so hard, and I shouldn't, because he's being really mean to the defense. His name is Jay, is it Bronius? And you guys, I did not see this part of the trial. I'm going to play his short, and there is what sounds like an F-bomb at the end, but I don't think it's a real F-bomb, just FYI. So let me grab this short here, and I'll put it in chat. I no idea who this guy was. I just came across him by accident. And anything that makes me laugh out loud this hard, I got to share with you guys. I do. So let me share the screen here. I don't know. Maybe you know him. I've never seen him before. Here we go. Here we go.
Some updates from the law firm of Dumb and Dumber. These two are truly Morons. Let's start with Catherine Nestor, who is questioning an estate planning attorney, and I would have the same face if Catherine Nestor was questioning me. During this questioning, Catherine Nestor is shocked to find out if you have a lawyer-client relationship, you don't have to be BFFs and have matching friendship bracelets.
Did you go to the funeral? No, I didn't. Are you still close with his sister? No, I've never been close with his sister. Okay, well, you were her lawyer. That doesn't mean I'm close to her. Oh. It was a professional relationship. Okay.
And now let's move on to dumber Wendy Lewis. She is questioning Kouri's friend when the judge says, please be more specific with your question. She then asks the exact same question and doesn't realize it until the witness tells her.
How are you aware of the person that was providing them?
Can you be a little bit more specific?
How were you aware where the gummies were coming from?
That's the same question.
Yeah, I know.
And let's see Dumb and Dumber in action together. In this instance, they're trying to determine if they should publish part of a letter that Kouri wrote or the full thing. And while they're arguing, Kouri just steps in, girl boss Elle Woods, and says, just fuck it, put the whole thing in. Kouri takes the lead.
Your Honor, I just think under Rule 106, for completeness sake, if we're going to put this in, let's just put in the whole letter.
What a bunch of incompetent jabroni.
Without an opportunity for us to put in any explanation about these.
Yeah, I feel like you're intentionally ignoring the fact that I'll be instructing the jury to not consider the other half. Fuck that.
Some updates from the law firm of Dumb.
There we go. That just killed me when I saw that. Absolutely killed me. And I somebody in chat knows this guy. I've never heard of him. So I put the link to his shorts right there in the chat, and I'll put it in the description as well. So thank you. Is that Olivia? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hold on one second here. Let me do something really quickly. We've got a little bit more to go. Okay. Any questions so far? Not that I could answer a damn thing, but I certainly would try. I think this case is going to go on probably longer than they had anticipated. I don't know when the defense or when the prosecution is going to be done, but I don't know what the defense is going to put on. I have a feeling it's going to be a very short defense, and they're just going to try and pick apart at the prosecution. And there may be, guys, there may be reasonable doubt here. You know, it's a pretty big deal to accuse somebody of poisoning their husband. But again, how did he get the fentanyl in his drink that night? How did that happen? That is the question. Okay. And again, I put the link in chat to the discussion on websleuths.com. I cannot believe we are 33 days in to the kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie. Now, when this first happened, when she was missing, I remember thinking, oh, this isn't a kidnapping. This is Nancy's just wandered out. She just wandered out, and they're saying it's a kidnapping, but I remember the sheriff was adamant it's a kidnapping, and he absolutely was right. Now, there are these theories going around. There's some great ones on Websleuths. There are some crazy ones that we have to remove as well, because on websleuths.com, we just don't allow people to go, hey, I found a guy named, Jim, who looks just like the backpack guy with the mask. And so I'm going to put up all his information and his family's information, and I think he did it. We don't allow that, although other places do. But there is a theory I was reading on Websleuths, which I found very interesting, that it's two people, and that the first person went around and went through the back, and backpack guy came out to the front to try and get rid of the camera. And between the two of them, they went in and they were trying to rob Nancy Guthrie. Now, remember, how long did they figure they stayed inside? Was it 41 minutes? Something was going on, something horrible. Was she alive when they left? Well, there's that blood that was dropped, droplets of blood on like the front porch area. So she had to be bleeding, which meant her blood had to be, heart had to be pumping. I don't know guys. It makes, I said this last night, it makes me crazy. I lie awake at night trying to figure this out. I'm going to play a couple of clips for you here, okay? So now, again, Brian Enton is still there. And that's what worries me. The day Brian Enton leaves, that's the day that I will really be worried that they don't have anything left to look into. Now, authorities say that the FBI was going door to door in Nancy's neighborhood today, which is good. I'm assuming they've already done that. I don't know, but they're doing it again. And why not? You know, so yeah. Let's see. Yeah. That's what I'm going to talk about today, Candy. Brian Enton just posted FBI agents and Pima County detectives were back in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood today talking to neighbors. And again, we have found out that there are some detectives and such working directly with the FBI on this case. So that's good that they're working together. But I'm going to play a short now from Brian Enton. Let me grab it. And then I've got a couple of news stories that I want to play. There's Brian. Here we go. Here we go, my darlings. Let's get Brian here. And I'll put the link in chat to the discussion on websleuths.com. We actually have a full forum going, which is the regular general discussion thread, and then a bunch of other threads like the evidence and theories, and it's really cool how they have it set up. So here we go.
Cell phone service is terrible at her house, by the way. Like, you barely get a...
Hold on.
Hey guys, so it's day 33 in the search for Nancy Guthrie. I'm right down the street from Nancy's house. The cell phone service is terrible at her house, by the way. Like, you barely get a bar, so I have to drive kind of far away to get good signal. Couple of things, FBI agents and the detectives from the Pima County Sheriff's Office were back out in the neighborhood today. We saw them going to neighbors' houses. I talked to one of the neighbors who said they just seemed more focused, that they were asking a lot of the same questions, but seemed more focused. Remember, there's this task force now that's been established. It's 4 detectives, a sergeant, plus all the FBI agents. They're all in one task force just working on Nancy Guthrie. I mentioned cell phone service. Interesting. I interviewed Heather and Jared Barnhart, who are the digital forensic experts who basically cracked open Brian Koberger's cell phone. And I wanted to see what they thought about the Nancy Guthrie case. They had some interesting points. One, I tell you how there's like no cell phone service at her house. That could be an issue in terms of tracking the cell phones that were in the area, which I hadn't thought about. Also, they have an interesting theory about why the suspect could actually be not only from Tucson, but like from the vicinity of Nancy's neighborhood, which is kind of creepy to think about. And that could also be a reason the FBI may be having a hard time tracking the suspect's cell phone, because they're looking for a regular activity. And if the person was always in the neighborhood anyway, it wouldn't really stand out. Just one theory that they had. But I'm still in Tucson, hoping for a break in the case soon. I'll keep you guys posted if anything happens.
Now, normally I would play a little bit of Brian's big nighttime video, but again, it's kind of, that's it, you know, nothing, knock on wood. Let's just hope that I eat my words by the end of tonight and something big happens. And that has happened before. But I'm going to play you something here from, let me grab it. Is this it? Let's see. Nope, that's not it. Hang on. Not it. Where the hell did it go? Is this it? This is it. Okay, this is from News 4 in Tucson, KVOA. So, hang on here. Here we go. Come on. Come on.
Continue to track the very latest on the disappearance and search for Nancy Guthrie as we reach 33 days since she was taken from her home. In a new development today, the FBI paid another visit to Nancy Guthrie's Catalina Foothills home That happened earlier this afternoon. And that is an image of the federal agents at the scene around 2 p.m. Our Andrew Capasso was there and tells us the agents are simply saying that they were following up on tips and leads. They went on to say this is simply standard procedure. And as the investigation continues in the search of Nancy Guthrie, News 4 Tucson's Monica Garcia sat down with Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos today, asking the questions you, our viewers, sent to us. She joins us live from the Pima County Sheriff's Department. And Monica, what did the sheriff reveal to you today?
Yeah, Sean, I mean, goodness, there's so many questions that remain. Here we are, day 33. We're right outside PCSD headquarters. And earlier today, I had a chance to speak with the sheriff and take him those questions that we have received from you, our viewers, straight to him. And this is what he responded with. Take a listen. We began by asking what role digital evidence could play in the case.
Cell phone data, pings, cameras. I mean, how much are you guys leading into that information, that evidence?
You know, it could be a cell tower dump, could be analyzing a cell phone.
So there is still digital evidence that you guys are waiting on to receive?
Well, we're analyzing all the time, yes.
We also asked about the more than a dozen gloves found during the search.
None of them had a fingerprint that could lead us to a suspect.
What I will tell you about the gloves is simply this. The closest glove was 2.5 miles away. We take the glove and we analyze it and we prioritize it. And part of that analysis included DNA. We've gotten some reports back and it's pretty much eliminated. And that was the closest one.
He says gloves found farther away, some 6 to 7 miles out, are still being reviewed, but so far none have produced fingerprints or evidence tied to a suspect. We also asked about DNA from one black glove that investigators traced to a local restaurant worker.
That the glove that was found that did have the DNA, the one that was 2 miles away, was connected to a restaurant worker. Okay, so did you guys get her DNA through that volunteer DNA donation when the deputies went into restaurants asking for that? Or?
I'm not going to get into the case and the evidence and the way evidence is obtained. What I will tell you is the glove we had analyzed. We took it through DNA processing. It led us to a restaurant across the street from where the glove was found. It's not surprising to us. In fact, a number of the gloves we looked at, we believed came from that type of industry.
And did that person
I really
donate
have to
her
be clear
DNA
here.
to you guys?
I'm not going to go into that.
We asked about the gloves a Tucson couple told News 4 Tucson they found, including one they believed had blood on it.
There was a couple that I spoke with that KVOA spoke exclusively to. They actually called us. They were concerned. They came to us. We set up this interview, and they have all these pictures of a glove that was found right around the corner on Campbell.
I've heard that story. I don't know when or where it was found. I know that there was some speculation that it had blood. My understanding is that has been analyzed and there has been no blood found on it.
So back out here live, there's also another report circulating online about a 911 call that was apparently received the night Nancy Guthrie disappeared, of a woman screaming and yelling outside of a vehicle that was only about 2 miles away from the Guthrie residence. We're going to tell you what Sheriff Chris Nanos had to say about that coming up at 6. Live from PCSD headquarters, Monica Garcia, back to you.
All right, and those questions coming directly from our viewers. And meantime, investigators continue to focus on that video you see here of the suspect captured on the Ring doorbell camera at her home, at Nancy Guthrie's home, along with several other leads in this case. If you have any information on the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie or that suspect, you're asked to call 1-800-CALL-FBI. And Savannah Guthrie plans to return to the Today Show, according to NBC, as she continues to support her family. NBC says Guthrie visited the Today Show set in Studio 1A at Rockefeller Center in New York City for the first time since her mother, Nancy, was taken from her home 33 days ago.
And guys, I have actually a different video for that. So yeah, very emotional visit at the Today Show, although nothing on camera and no actual date when Savannah will be returning. I'm surprised. I wasn't sure if she would ever return, but let's get to that. And I've put this link in chat to this to this report here, but let me grab that one from the Today Show. And they have a little bit more information, so let's do that one. And then I want to read what Chipmunk said. I found that very interesting. Chipmunk 43NY, giving us a little lesson in definitions. Here we go.
Savannah, we have had a powerful morning this morning.
Yeah, Savannah has come back to her home here at 30 Rock and Studio 1A. We got to see her this morning, and in her perfect way, she talked to all of us, hugged every single person in this room, the crew.
And upstairs.
Yeah, she said that, you know, she has the intention to return to the show, even though it feels like the hardest thing to do. It's also her home and where she feels so loved, and she is beyond loved here. And so we're happy that she is home. I don't know when she's actually returning to the show, but she was here, and that felt so good to get to hug her.
So this is just happening, right? This just in. And so Jen and I haven't had a chance to talk about it amongst each other. But this is what I will share with you is when Savannah's here, you know, we've all been waiting for her. We've been wearing our pins, and everybody, I know I'm just like touching her and we're hugging, and everybody wants to lay eyes on her. But it's interesting because I think I handle moments like this differently now, because I am in some ways, I'm not smiling, but I feel I'm proud of Savannah and I'm rooting for Savannah. And I know the strength that it would take to even just come in here and to be amongst all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And so I see it as we're in this storm and we're not out of the storm, but there's a light somewhere, even in the midst of the storm. And I think her coming here and just being able to be with us and for us to be able to hug her, I think it's a step, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's ahead of us. We don't know what's ahead of us, but all I know is it is a step. And for me, anytime you can take a step, I celebrate that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I looked at her and I hugged her and I'm like, you know what? You are here and we love you.
Yeah.
Everyone loves you. And whenever you're ready, we are here.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I feel encouraged this morning that we are one step closer just to getting a step to wherever it's going to be, that she was able to actually feel us. And I think even for her to see us in our pins, and
yeah,
I can't imagine, you know.
She said the yellow flowers and the pins, all of your prayers, she feels them. She depends on them. She said, and she has said this to me before during all of this, but her pastor said, and I think she wouldn't mind me sharing this, he said, you know, God is our last resort. And she said, no, God has always been my first resort. So thank you all for your continued support and your love for all of us, but particularly for Savannah and for Annie and for Cam and for their families, because she is, you know, one of the most precious things in our lives.
And she said it before, she feels your prayers and your well wishes and all of it. And I think we just keep it going.
Yeah.
We just keep loving her. We keep our arms around her, and we're going to get her back here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. You guys, thanks for.
Well, there you go. Let's see. So, guys, I have to go grab something because I just got an alert for a missing child on my phone, and then it disappeared. But I have a backup phone, and I can hear the alert going off there. I need to go grab that and see what that's all about. Now, normally, Stacy would be here and take over chat and chit-chat with you all, but she had to take her husband in tonight. He had open heart surgery, and he had to do a checkup, and the hospital is a couple hours away. Everything's fine. He's doing great, actually. He's doing really well, but long day. I don't even know if she's home yet, so I told her just to take the night off. But I do want to get a... I do want to read this chat comment here. Athi, where is it? You got to bring it to me. I can't get it unless you bring me your slobbery... Oh, here it is. Your slobbery sheet. Here you go, baby. There you go. Okay, she says, Chipmunk 43NY says, why can't people say hypothesis instead of theory? It's using the term wrong. Theory means it's proven well. Hypothesis is the start without knowing scientific method. Not many use the word correctly. I do not use the word correctly. If I had to say hypothesis every time, I'd have a nervous breakdown. That's all I can say. Because first thing I would do is my brain would freeze thinking, is this a hypothesis or a theory? And then I would just melt down and probably start crying. So you just have to get used to me saying theory. I do apologize. Anyway, guys, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to go grab my phone because I want to see what this child alert is. I don't know why it disappeared from my phone so quickly, but my other backup phone is going off, which you can't hear. And I just want to make sure that I want to read it to you because, hey, you never know. Okay, come on, off and come with me. Scrappy Joe, you stay here and sleep. I'll be right back. Okie dokie. Well, okay, well, I went to get my other phone and I picked it up and it disappeared as soon as I picked it up. So I don't know who's missing or what, but maybe they were found immediately. I hope that's it. So if anybody is in Texas and you got one of these alerts, please jump in chat and let me know, okay? Okie dokie. So are you all done? Okay. Anyway, now I want to tell you about Othram. They have a new YouTube channel. It's called Othram Studios. Oh my God. This is their namesake. I named him Othram Tex Bug Nugget the First long before Othram and Websleuths partnered up because I just thought the world of the people at Othram. And I thought, what a better way to honor them than to name my little baby pug after them. So, and yeah, he's proven to be incredibly cute, but very obnoxious. So I do apologize. But anyway, Othram is, they have their new YouTube channel and it's called Othram Studios. I'm going to get it right here really quickly. Hang on. And I really would encourage you to please go subscribe. They are getting ready to put up their first story. Well, in fact, we're going to play their their promo here. So hang on, let me grab it really quickly. And now what the hell? Why does everything just never go my way? I swear. Okay, let's go to YouTube. There we go. Okay, now hang on. And so if you have not gone to this channel yet to subscribe, again, doesn't cost anything to subscribe. Please do, because the people at Othram, oh my God, all they do, literally day and night, is they try and find the bad guys and they try and identify the unidentified remains. And what they have been doing is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to play their promo and then I'll put their link in chat. And if you haven't subscribed, please go subscribe. Like I said, I'd love to have thousands of subscribers for them before they put on their first story. And they're going to explain exactly what their YouTube channel is going to be all about. So let's watch it.
In a society where 50% of murders go unsolved, it sounds terrifying.
We're helping build technology that's introducing a seismic shift in how criminal justice works. If there's DNA evidence, there's a good chance that the case can be cracked, that the identity can be restored. And that's what we do here at Othram.
We bring hope to hopeless cases.
Unsolved crime is really a choice. We wanted to start bringing some of the stories that we've uncovered as we work these cases with law enforcement to everyone.
Showing the cases that are resolving that were previously unsolvable.
We want to tell these stories and deliver them directly to you, which is why we started our own channel.
They located a female who was deceased. She was naked. She had no identification with her.
We met with the medical examiner's office in Harris County and attempted to recover some evidence.
From that point, the case went cold.
I think it was so horrible of a death. We have young kids, right? And so seeing a teenager in that state is devastating. I just remember my husband was no longer the same at all.
I don't believe that anybody other than Othram has been able to get DNA the way that they extracted DNA in this case.
We want people to know what's possible.
Okay, have you all subscribed? Let me put the link in chat again. Please go and subscribe, okay? It doesn't cost anything. Like I said, I'd love for them to have a huge audience waiting for them for their first story that they put up there. And every story that they have, every case that they have solved has a fascinating background behind it. Not one single case is the same. And sometimes it takes years for them to do the detective work to find the person. Now, remember in the Kohlberger case, it was Othram that found Brian Kohlberger. They found the family's DNA, a family member, and they were able to do the reverse search and find the relatives of Brian Kohlberger, which led to him and then his arrest finally. And remember, he thought he was so smart. Oh, God, that guy. He was, cutting up his garbage and putting it in Ziploc bags and putting it in the neighbor's garbage. Well, what he didn't count on was, I think it was his father's DNA that they were able to get from the garbage. Once you put the garbage out on the curb, it's public property. You don't need a search warrant. You don't need anything because you're throwing it away. Anybody can take it. So that's why that's why they watch for people to throw stuff away. So in the old days, it used to be to get their fingerprints. That's why at the police station, they would hand them a drink on an aluminum can and put their fingerprints on. But the good old days when it was just fingerprints, but now it's DNA. Again, that's why going back to the Guthrie case, how in the hell has that guy avoided detection? I mean, he must be the biggest criminal genius to walk the planet. I just don't get it. It's making me nuts. Anyway. So let's see here. Have you all gone there and subscribed, I hope? Don't make me turn this car around. If you're not going to do that, I will turn this car around. We will go home, young lady. Sorry. Flip back into my childhood trauma here. Okay, and I got a a link from a friend of mine earlier about a missing child. She said, please, please, please say something about this child. I hope she's already been found. It's on Facebook. It is through the police department, but I'm going to put it up here really quickly. And then I have a really interesting new podcast that was sent to me. I haven't had a chance to listen to it, but I listened to the promo, and it's got woo-woo and true crime, and it's really interesting. So anyway, this is from, let me read this here. And again, if you're wondering why I sit there and sing dee dee dee, it's my radio days. I can't have dead air. If I have dead air, it kills me. So I have to be saying something when it's silent. So I just sing that stupid song, which some people really like, which just cracks me up. So anyway, here's the link to this description of this missing child. I'm going to put it in chat right here. And all of these links I'll put in the description tonight. So you can go to the description. It'll be underneath the video once it's posted when we're done here, okay? So let me read this here. Her name is it Elena Marie Church. She's only 14. She's missing from Tullahoma, Tennessee. She went missing after leaving an after-school event on February 7th. Wow, she's been gone a long time. She's 5'5", 170 pounds with long brown hair and gray eyes. She was last known to be in the Manchester, Tennessee area. Anyone with information regarding the whereabouts of this individual is asked to contact the Tullahoma Police Department at 931-455-3411. And again, please take a look at chat. The link is there, and I'm going to put this information in the chat as well with the police phone number. Take a good look at that picture. I wish I could get it a little bigger, but I can't. So I do apologize. So let me get this here. Here's the information. If by just on the off chance that you happen to have seen this child, there is the police department phone number. And again, I will put that in the description. Oh, what do you mean YouTube rejected my comments? Really? Why? Why does everything have to be so damn hard? Okay, let me try this again. Hold on. Let me just take the rest of this out and just put in the police department's phone number. And there we go. I don't know why it wouldn't let me put the rest of it up there, but it got mad at me and said no. So. Aw, thank you, Candy Williams. I'm just reading a few chats here really quickly. Did I see Shad Hunter in here tonight? I hope he's doing well. Did he pop in? Hi, Shirley Fowler. Good to see you, my dear. Yeah, JDR, I don't know why YouTube edits those comments like that, but oh well, what can you do? Right, Scrappy Joe? Okay. I got this this link. I'm gonna play this to this new podcast, and it's really interesting. Again, it has to do with woo-woo and true crime. Now, you know how I feel about woo-woo. I like talking about woo-woo. I think woo-woo can be fun. I was not a real big believer in woo-woo and ghost stories or anything until recently, and I've talked a lot about that, about the recent thing that I had happen. We'll talk about that some other time. But I thought this was really interesting, and I just want to pass it along to you and give you a chance to see if you like this. Okay, I'm going to read you this description here, and then I will put the link in chat, read you part of the description. Okay, now where did it go? Come on now. Come on. There we go. It's called the Demonologist Podcast, okay? And it's they say it offers a chilling investigative look into the dark reality of spiritual warfare through the unique lens of Adam Bly. He's a church decreed, what is it? I don't know how to even pronounce that. The Catholic Church says that he can deal with possessions and things like that. But this also has to do with true crime. True crime is mixed into this as well. So it's a true crime podcast that has to do with woo-woo, demonology, whether you believe it or not. It might be very, very interesting for you to just take a quick listen to it and see. Now I'm going to play this little clip here. And this is what grabbed my attention. He's got a very interesting voice. So hang on, let me grab it here. Here we go. I hope I can play it. I'm not sure if I can. Just a minute here. Download. Oh, you know what? I don't think I can. Shoot. I can't because it's not in the right form to play on StreamYard. But I can let me put the link up at least to this so you can go and take a look yourself. Let me know what you think of it, okay? I found the theory very interesting, to say the least. So now I've got to find that again. I only have 350 tabs open here. So here we go. Copy. Okay, let me put this in chat. I've never heard of woo-woo and true crime mixing together like this before. So I thought it was very, very interesting. Come on, I copied it. Oh, it is not letting me do it. I give up. I give up, you guys. I do. Let me type it in. Let me type it in the old-fashioned way. Okay. It'll take me a second here. Oh gosh darn it, hold on. My screen keeps jumping. I'm telling you guys, it's just a nightmare. My screen is jumping all over the place. I can't hold it down. I hope I got that right. I think I did. Okay. Pretty easy. It's the demonologistpodcast.com. Okay. And I'll put it in the description as well. Sorry, I was having a hard time typing because my screen was jumping around like it's possessed again. Chad Daybell and his portal. We know. It's crazy, you guys. Anyway, that's it. Kind of a very unusual show tonight with some things that we've been talking about for quite a while, some very new things, and a little bit of woo-woo mixed in there as well. It's always okay to have a little bit of woo-woo, right? Right. Okay, I think that's everything, my darling. Stacy will be back tomorrow, and we're going to hopefully have some very interesting guests for you next week to talk about some of the true crime cases as well. Do we have any questions here? Be sure and check out websleuths.com. When you go to the front page, you can see the Kouri Richins picture there. You click on that, takes you to the Kouri Richins discussion. You see Nancy Guthrie, you click on that, that takes you to the Nancy Guthrie discussion, but also the Nancy Guthrie Forum, which is split out so you don't have to go through we literally have 42,000 posts in one thread about Nancy Guthrie. We've been able to split it out. We have discussions going about theories or hypothesis. We have discussions going about the evidence, and then the general discussion theory. It's all there on websleuths.com, okay? What I would like you to do, my darlings, is you could please, tonight when this goes up, if you could leave a comment, maybe tell me where you're listening from. I ask that about once a month. Tell me whether you're listening like right next door to me or perhaps in another country. just make a comment underneath this video and give it a thumbs up, and be sure and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 50,000. I can't seem to get past 48,933. So if you have not subscribed, please do so. Again, we're not monetized. We do this because we love it and we want to help people, and we love you as a community as well. Okay? All right, everybody, you be safe out there. Websleuths.com, and we're back here tomorrow night, 10:30 Eastern on Websleuths YouTube Live. We'll see you then, everybody. Bye-bye.